Sometimes you just watch a movie that's just so awful. It just had a lot of hype and promise because it's based off an intellectual property. You view it, you watch it, and you're just like, what is this? How could they have taken something that was instantly amazing and just made it awful? I'm talking about the 2005 adaptation of Doom. Based off the early 1990s first-person shooter that garnered a lot of controversy for its violence. I don't know what to say. I mean, you have Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, who plays a Sarge who leads a group of 6 or 7 soldiers, and as they go into Mars because there is an experiment. Because supposedly some what was it? Some demons got. Yeah. So anyway, demons are in Mars, and they escape, and they cause just a massive obliteration going on. And this special team of RRTS, which I forget stands for, is sent to exterminate them and retrieve data. What is this data, you may ask? Well, it turns out it has to do with genetic modification. The 24th chromosome was... I'm just going to spoil it because it's just so stupid. Okay, let's experiment on criminals. Let us inject this 24th chromosome in them and basically give them the superpowers. Enhance strength, flight, and speed. Oh, but let's make it stupid. It only reacts to certain people. It's like, you know, either make a person who's violent, or a person who's not violent, just become bland. Right? That's part of the story because, you know, there's experimenting done on Mars and everything just went to haywire, and the central thing is just like messing around with nature too much. Yeah, I get that. That's what happens in the 24th century in the video game. And, you know, I played it when I was younger. Heck of a good game for the Super Nintendo. Surprisingly good graphical capabilities. Now, you would think that just go balls out, just make it an action movie that kind of does deal with the same thing, and also these demons they're supposedly from hell come on Mars. I mean, it's like, that's a great concept. Poorly executed. Jeez, oh Pete. So, the characters, they're not even characters. Rosamund Pike plays the scientist. She says that she was too innocent and too naive about understanding what the property about Doom and everything that it stands for, and it's like, yeah, you should have read more about the lore, the mythology, and everything to get a better understanding rather than just playing Scientist number 2,700,397 of all the movies that go on there. There's some tension going on between her and what was it, Carl Urban, who plays I forgot what his name was. It's like, none of that matters. There's no relevancy. They make up and the family gets back together. There's also the cliches of it's like there's one of the soldiers who's trying to hit on Samantha, the female scientist, and there's a whole bunch of sex jokes, and it's just like, that doesn't belong in this movie. That belongs in anything else, but not this. There's like the only character I guess that's good is Richard Brake as Portman, where he's got at least some lines where he's just kind of a degenerate, I guess, but it just seems like in the end, like about 45 minutes through, he goes underwater and they try and rescue him. We're thinking that's gonna be some like water demon. No, it just turns out that he's like, I just fell in the damn hole. That's it. That's the incompetency. I don't know. I'll say this. The action does get in. I guess if you want to get some positives, the action, it gets in like 20 minutes. I guess we get to see some futuristic stuff, but it's still not that good. It's just, ugh. Yeah, so at least they get into the action. And there's the first-person shooter scene. That made up for a lot of stuff. That was like, what, roughly 5 to 7 minutes. It looked like a video game. It played like the darn video game. 14 days to shoot that scene. It's worth it alone. It's probably most likely on YouTube. There's a showdown between The Rock and one of the villains, and recently watching saying, "Oh, I am the final boss of WWE." Well, he was technically the final boss of a movie based on a video game. So yeah, he filled that role. I would say roughly 19 years before what happened at Mania and everything else. So Showdown's mediocre. And the action, it's like, what action is there? It's just, I don't know. It's like there's a couple of glimpses of, it's like, oh, we're going to have some shooting. But then it goes on for a couple minutes. There's some music that's for running. I'm like, what's going on here? Why is it all over the place? It's not funny. It's just, I don't know, man. Everything's just paper thin. It's just wrong, you know? I mean, it's not even, like, so bad it's good. It's just boring. You would think that there would be demons from hell unleashed for a little bit in the first-person shooter portion. Yes, there is, but everything else, it's just zombies and reanimated dead scientists. I'm like, what? You know, it's like, they could have had id Software give some input, and they said, yeah, we kind of liked it overall. I'm like, The Rock says this is an exercise in caution of what not to do. Rosamund Pike disliked it. And I forgot, there was another actor who disliked it. I mean, they did do some military training, so at least that was real. There's a nice feature on the DVD, but it's just, I don't know. Oh, let's not forget the big BFG, big force gun in the movie. This is rated R. They call it the big force gun rather than the big effing gun. And it shoots, and it just kind of warps some stuff and disappears. I'm like, that's it? You know, it's like, you could have had some more action. You could have had some more explosives. Come on. This is a Doom movie, for crying out loud. You could have just literally had explosions and demons. This was the perfect opportunity. Screw this movie. It sucks. 3 out of 10.